on the far side of town, sharing a dream with anyone. She's made it through heaven, she's made it through hell. It's just another story to tell. Have you ever felt you're missing the dream? Have you ever wished your life was like the movie on the screen? Filled with heartbreaks and fights through Hollywood nights. Making up a bar queen on the phone in the great big boulevard, the place she belongs. It's just another story she tells. Have you ever felt you're missing the dream? Have you ever wished your life was like the movie on the screen? Filled with heartbreaks and fights through Hollywood nights. Through Hollywood nights. Through Hollywood nights. Stay bearded, stay filling. One brotherhood, one ship. Stay bearded, stay filling. It's BV, it's BV, BV, it's BV,
Yeah.
it's BV, it's BV, it's BV,
From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. Hey yo, heart of a villain beats hard in the centrifuge. Bearded BP, 100 interviews. All it takes is 2 mics and 1 line. This is Bearded Villains podcast worldwide. Driving cross countries, getting ball tires. Fam across ponds, always inspired. Chapters connect, and then it's on fire. Check your phone, cause BV is like a live wire. They said that we couldn't do it. From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain. It's the heart of a villain.
To a special Wednesday night edition, very late even, of The Heart of a Villain, the podcast and live stream devoted to the Bearded Villains Worldwide Brotherhood. Tonight, this is, as I said, a midweek episode. We're on a Wednesday because old BP ain't gonna be here tomorrow. We're here for episode 224, and today is the last day of July. That's right, the 31st of July, 2024. And not only am I late, but all discombobulated here because the microphone system here is not working for old BP. You would think as many microphones as I have to my disposal, for some reason, and I can't figure out why, not getting sound through the microphones, the many microphones that I want. Now, see, I can hear that thud. Can you hear that? But that's not really coming through the microphone very well. So let's see if I can, maybe if I crank these up to all they can be, and we'll see if Rob can speak his mind and get through this thing and make it work here. We're going to try and see. But hey, as I said, guys, we're here late because I had a trip to the airport today to pick up someone from the other side of the pond. And you know him because he's a frequent visitor and lover of the show. We know him very well. He's ROBB on the road. ROBB is here with us in studio. He's right over there. Look at him. Look at that sexy beast. He's on the red couch. He's on the red couch here in the studio tonight. So I'm going to try to get a microphone to him and see if it will work for him. Let's try this. Test, test. I like the way that microphone is sounding. Let's try this one. I'm going to mute my other mic. Test, test, test. Sort of working, I think. Sort of working. We're going to give it a go. So let me hand this microphone over to him. We'll see if this works. If not, I'll have to boost it up for standard podcast platforms later on down the line here. But I want to say hello real quick, as I always do, to everybody that is here who has been waiting on pins and needles, I'm sure, with bated breath to say hello to us all and to say hello to ROBB, who again is here in studio with us tonight. I'm going to say hello, so let me bring this over here and get my comments up and running here. I have to, of course, bring Rob in first with his comment. Good afternoon, good evening. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is evening here, not morning for him today, because once again, he is here in studio. I keep saying it because I'm excited. Josh McLean, how are you doing, good sir? Good to see you, good to see you. 100, absolutely. Who else we got? We got anybody else? The comments section is few and far between tonight. I know there's a few people actually watching otherwise. But hey, little Dane, what is up, brother love? How you doing? Every time I say that, brother love, I feel like I'm an 80s DJ talking in the late night hours about brother love. All right. If you're from the States, you know Dr. Johnny from WKRP in Cincinnati. What is up? What is up? So Ed is here hanging out with us as well. He was just over here at the house a little bit ago. Good to see you. Good to see you. This could be a total train wreck of a show, and I'm all here for it. I don't care. We'll just see where this day takes us. We're going to talk about a variety of different things with Rob, provided that we can get his microphone to work correctly. He'll probably have to shout into the microphone because of the type of microphone it is, I guess, that comes through this board, and it doesn't have a cloud lifter or anything on it. So I apologize for that. But let's try this. So, Rob, give us all how you doing there.
Hey everyone, it's Rob from the great city of London in the UK. I've just popped over for a little world meet. Yeah, quiet weekend.
All right, it is picking you up, although quiet, but it is picking you up. So hopefully everybody can understand you. I'm gonna pivot my little body over this way. Little Dane says he's retro. All right, so let's just talk about how your trip has been so far. You've had some interesting food. You've had an interesting seatmate coming over here. You've had, even though it's been uneventful, as you said here in the comments section, uneventful flight, there's still some things that you can pick apart in being fun.
It's been comical. The seat I booked turned out to be 2/3 wide as I am, so it was a shoehorn job getting in and out of that today. That was fun. My seat next to me was supposed to be empty, and it was filled with the most nervous flyer I've ever met, to the point where the poor person squeezed the stuffing out of their plushie. It was an adult, by the way, so I won't say too much on that, but they got through the flight, so good luck to them. I think they said they were going on to another flight straight off for that one. So good luck with that.
Flying with a nervous flyer is always fun.
Yeah, especially when you can't move out of their way.
Right, yeah. If you're right next to them, yeah, that makes it for a rough go.
We had some comical, very, very comical turbulence just as they were trying to eat. You shouldn't laugh, but after 6 hours, you've got to. You've got to laugh after a while.
Yeah. You've made that flight several more times than I have. I did once, and I was actually very fortunate because I was on a 2-seat configuration, and I only had me, nobody else sitting next to me. And so I was able to space out a little bit, but yeah, I haven't had the seatmate for an 8-hour flight like that.
I was on a narrow body jet and in the window, and at 6'1", that is a very, very tight place to be.
Yeah, folks, this was a narrow body jet making the passage from England. I I was in a big plane. I can't imagine being in a narrow body with somebody stuck up right against you. And yeah, but I take things in a little different with a little different grain of salt because of my size. So I don't have the height that you do, but it's a little bit different story when you take up a little more of the seat than I do, like I do.
You're going to be walking at an angle for a few days.
Well, then you're in trouble because we're going to have a long car ride tomorrow. He says he's going to be walking at an angle. Well, a 13-hour car ride tomorrow down to New Orleans in a Jeep Cherokee, nonetheless, is bound to be fun for your posture.
Yep. What's left of it?
So let's talk for a second about you make several trips a year over here to see a variety of things, do a variety of things. This year we're going down to New Orleans for the World Meet, and what about coming over here or traveling in general? Because you're very unique in that because you live where you live over in England, you can go visit, and we talked about this ad nauseum, I think, on the show before. That where you live provides you the opportunity to visit many different countries, many different events within different countries in the same time frame that it would take me to drive down to Nashville, Tennessee, or something like that. Talk for a second about maybe some of the differences that you notice coming to events in the States versus over closer to home.
I think the biggest thing is the showmanship. So back home, European meets, we have put on a good show, but it's a lot more brotherhood and close knit. There's a lot less, which is more. We might have a beard comp, or we might not. We went to an event back in start of the year in Norway, and it was just a group of us hanging out in the middle of the countryside for 2 days. Whereas you come over here and there's lots going on. We've got a beard comp, and we've got this going on. There's music, and we're having a meet and greet here and an event there. It's just like two sides of the same coin. So it's like much more on the go and hectic over here, whereas European meets tend to be more chilled, maybe a little more freeform. We don't really follow a regimented time of stuff. Like something will happen around the time we say it's going to, or maybe later, maybe earlier, or not at all. But we just enjoy the time.
Yeah. So what he's saying, guys, is that they enjoy the brotherhood over there a lot more than we do, I think, is what he's saying. It's you know what?
It's a different type of brotherhood.
Take your wind muffy thing off there. Let's see if that helps a little bit. You can just pull right off. I don't know if it'll help or not, but we'll see. Yeah, but I've said that too, and even though I've only been to one event over there, it was noticeable immediately for me going over there. It's like, yeah, we're gonna have a beard comp. So what are the categories? Oh, we're not really so much worried about that. We're gonna go over here in about 20 minutes. If you're interested, we're gonna go sit off here to the side of the. It's gonna take about 10 minutes, and we'll be done. And it's like, it was so refreshing because there's, and I've talked about it recently here on the show too. Is that here with the beard comps here? It's because everybody does a beard comp. It's the easy thing to do to raise money for charity, and to have that be your focus. And I love that when you guys put on an event over there, if you have a beard comp, it's 15 minutes, 10 minutes of the thing, and several more hours of just hanging out with your brothers. And it's a very cool vibe.
Yeah, I've been to some European meets where we've been hanging out and we haven't just been late for the beard comp, we've missed it. Like, they've called our names and we've missed it. Because we've just been hanging out, having a good time, good conversation. Whereas over here, beard comp's kind of the focal point for a lot of meets. So everything leads up to it. It happens, and then there's nothingness. It seems to be, right, beard comp, go home.
Right.
Whereas, the European meets tend to be, beard comp, right, put some music on, go to the bar, get some dinner. It's just a continuation.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I have totally noticed that. So we're this week we're going down to New Orleans. What are you looking forward to? Because this is going to be your second stateside world meet that you've been to. Can you talk for a second about? And I'm going to preface this. Rob had no idea coming over to this trip this weekend that he was going to be the full on subject of the interview. I said we talked about him coming on the podcast, and then I informed him on the car ride over here from the airport. Oh yeah, I'm just going to sit and interview you the whole time. So I'm completely putting him on the spot with all these questions. Could you talk for a second about some of the more memorable things that you remember about Chicago, the World Meet, and then what you know about what's planned for going on in New Orleans that you're looking forward to?
Okay, so Chicago, I think that sort of changed the game a bit. Obviously, being postponed for like 2.5 straight years, really sort of put them up against the wall. They had to pull something big out of the bag, and I think we all agree they definitely managed that one. For those of you who have spoken with me about Chicago World Meet and the comedy of errors that led up to it, between the 68 hours of transit from the UK and falling asleep in my dinner in front of the Indiana boys, and then disappearing for 16 hours because I was a little bit tired. It was, to be fair, actually, I wouldn't have changed a thing about it. It was brilliant fun, awesome event, lots going on, really good fun. Met a lot of people I've seen in an awful long time. And obviously, the pandemic hampered that for all of us. So it was nice to see people get back together.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of hard to stack Chicago's World Meet against any other because of the situation it arose from.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, this one's going to be completely different. It's down in the Big Easy. It's different style altogether. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I think there's a lot of little things people are organising to do, little gets-togethers, places to visit. I know the pair of us are disappearing off to look at the World War Memorial. So that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
It's different for me. It's going to be a completely different lineup. I'm used to sort of that all in one site, one location World Meet style. It's generally been the norm.
Mm.
So this will be interesting to see, different venues.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the. I'm looking a lot forward to the heat and humidity.
Yeah, I'm real excited to slowly melt.
I mean, the least they could have done is just not ordered that for us this week.
Well, maybe they could have booked it in an ice cream parlor.
Right.
48 hours in an ice cream parlor.
I'm telling you, yeah. They should have made it. We had all this time in the world, Morgan. You should have just arranged it to be like all indoors, AC the entire time, and every venue space attached to one another. Yeah. They do that in Indianapolis, by the way. In Indianapolis, you can go with the tunnel system, and you can go like miles from venue to venue to venue and stay inside the entire time. And you never have to get outside in the heat.
They do it in Minnesota as well. You don't ever have to go outside.
Yep. So maybe New Orleans can take a hint from Minnesota or Indiana. I think maybe. What do you think?
Cold weather meets only.
Right. Yes. That's the best thing for us, for sure.
Large man friendly weather.
There we go. Yes. Well, talk for let's go back a bit here now. Last year when you came over with Bulldog, and it became kind of a celebrity-ish tour thing that you guys did. This year coming over for this meet, we're sans Bulldog now. He couldn't make it over, but he also sent some stuff, and you guys are going to be you're bringing some things with you to the World Meet.
So when me and Bulldog travel, we like to take gifts. We like to leave a little something behind. So we have a variety of pins from London chapter, some Villian wristbands, which obviously you could only have got by attending. We've got some really, really beautiful autism awareness bracelets. They are absolutely gorgeous. And I'm fully informed that there's one individual with a burning, passionate love for the croc footwear movement. And we have some lovely little croc footwear charms for him. And he will be wearing them. Yes, and we also have the World Meet London crossover patch. Unfortunately, I don't have one on me to show you, so you'll have to turn up in Louisiana to get one.
Yeah, so definitely find Rob at this event this weekend. If you're going to be down in New Orleans this weekend, find Rob because the goodness that he offers, the items that he is going to have available to you are one of a kind. Can't get them anywhere else. And definitely something to grab if you like to collect items.
Do you know what, BP? I'm going to see if I can find a photo to send you.
Okay.
The rarest of rare.
The rarest of rare.
There is only 50 of them in total.
Okay.
That includes the prototype. There's
Wow.
no spares at all. They are super rare and numbered.
All right. Well, while you're looking for that, I'm going to do...
Got it.
Oh, he's already got it. All right. Well, while he's looking for that and sending that to me so I can put it up here on the screen, I'm going to give this a little bit of a shout that I didn't get to do this last week. So whether you're navigating the rugged terrain of the great outdoors or conquering the concrete jungle of the urban landscape, Bigfoot Beard Company has you covered. Bigfoot products are made with natural ingredients designed to help maintain a healthy, rich beard without leaving it feeling greasy and heavy. From classic cologne-inspired fragrances to fruity notes and earthy tones, there's sure to be a scent for every occasion. With worldwide shipping available, why not take an opportunity to walk on the wild side? Head over to BigfootBeardCo.com. That's www.BigfootBeardCo.com today and grab you some Bigfoot beard products. I had to make sure we mentioned that because there's some Bigfoot beard products coming with for this weekend's event.
Yep, we got a selection of our balms, fluffs, and oils. And I'm just going to mention now, we also have a massive beard care bundle sale going on at the moment, which includes oil, balm, fluff, shampoo, and conditioner, all in one massive saving bundle. You're going to save $30 nearly on that bundle. And it's available in a selection of flavors. You can mix and match your scents.
Wow. All right. Dude, I'm telling you what, boys. This is Bigfoot Beard Company is primarily over in England, but I'm telling you what, it needs to become a bigger thing over here because I really love their stuff. They have a customer in me for sure. And, you know, I talk on the show about different beard products and stuff here before, and I like to vary my workflow, I guess, if you call it that, regarding, you know, your choices in what you might put in your beard. But I will say that the Bigfoot stuff is something that I always kind of flow back to, and I go to it quite frequently. So I love the variety of scents that they have, and I love, you know what I love I hadn't seen before, and I keep going back to it, is that fluff. It's such a unique. It's like if you're dipping your finger in like mousse, in like a chocolate mousse, and it's soft, it's light, it doesn't weigh the beard down, but it still does some really good conditioning and control for your beard. So I'm going to go over here to this thing right here and go to the solo shot here for a second and see if I can bring up the pictures that Rob just shared with me of the patches that he just sent me. And I'm going to come over here and we're going to go. All right. So I'm going to throw this up on the screen here for us. And we're going to see, there is the artist design, the rendition of the item. But I have a working version of it as well that I can bring up on screen as well. He sent me two pictures. One looks like an artist rendition, and one is the full rendition, only available at the event this weekend, right? Only available at the event this weekend. If you want to grab one, it says New Orleans 2024. This thing is very, very cool. It's like in your face, but also subtle at the same time. I don't know how you did that, but it is cool.
So this is actually part of a series of World Meat patches I've been making over the years. Those of you who remember the Chicago one, it's theme and variation. But if you pull up the artwork version as a larger image and look at the shadow work in the background, you'll notice it's two different city skylines.
Oh, very cool.
You've got New Orleans' famous skyline reflected against the skyline of London.
I did not notice that. I love that. That's very cool. Okay.
And, if you're curious about the colours, I'm not sure if you can see the gold in it.
Yes.
That is the flag of New Orleans.
All right. You're right, it is. Wow. So much effort. I mean, talk about putting in some time and some thought to this thing. Man, guys, if you want a very cool patch that there's one of 50, there's only 50 available.
Can't be bought, traded, sold, wished, disappeared, you name it.
Yeah, this is a gift patch, right?
Oh, yeah.
A gift patch that he will give you for meeting him at the World Meet. I mean, come on. That's not an everyday thing. A gift patch specific to the meet that actually has some meaning to it, that actually shows some thought into the design behind this. Very, very cool piece. Yeah, for cool. Oh, I can't wait to see. We'll see how fast those things disappear. I'd venture a guess within an hour. But
we'll only have 25 on the Friday and 25 on the Saturday.
Oh, look what he's doing there, boys and girls. Look what he's doing there. He is, I mean...
That's rationing, that is.
That is for sure. Wow. He wants to make sure that he only has so many available each day. Wow. All right. I'm centering up my camera so that little one's not in it now. She doesn't need to make an appearance on the show. My daughter Skylar has made it down here to the show, down to the basement, to the studio to hang out with Rob. Doesn't get a chance to hang out with Rob very often. It's first time really, other than a very short period of time last time he was here. Very cool, man. That patch is badass. I gotta say it. Very cool. I mean, it's very cool. You should watch what I'm saying. But hi, Skylar. What? Okay. All right. Okay. So tomorrow, Rob, you and I embark on a road trip of immense proportion. And it's going to be your longest road trip, as I understand it.
Longest in one continual day, yeah.
Yeah. Longest. I see what I'm making him do for you folks. We are going to be making the 13-hour trek in one fell swoop, which I've done before, down to another event down to DSV a few years ago. But this is going to be the first time so he's looking forward to doing a U.S. road trip in one day, going through multiple states. And I think you've basically promised that you're going to be doing some video and some other things during the course of this trip, right?
So those of you who know me know I have a small camera addiction issue.
I'd say it's more than that.
So yes, there will be filming, photos. We may possibly be stopping at every welcome to this state sign for a photo. And there will be some live streaming of the pair of us. I cannot promise the quality of the content on those live streams. No,
hour
1 might be better than hour 13.
Well, aside from how loopy we may be, you never know the quality of the live stream based on where you're at in the world, because we'll be driving through some mountains. We'll be driving through, a whole bunch of different things during this trip. So the live streaming could be a thing, or it could be just completely random whether we're able to even connect.
It might look like early 2000s YouTube.
It very well, yeah. It may be like when you were a kid and you're trying to get cable on the Scramble channel. with a little bit less static and more no signaling. So I guess it would be more like watching Max Headroom from the 80s.
Yeah.
It may be a lot like that. I promised Rob that I'm going to try to stop at all of the state signs that we come across to welcome us into a different state. But if you've traveled the states here, you know that sometimes that's not always safe. It's not always super possible based on which road you're on at the time and where the sign is posted. But rest assured, if we end up not able to swing by one on the way down, I'll make sure that when we come back up, we find one that we can stop by so we can get all the different states covered in this trip, hopefully safely, so that we're not running into people. But yeah, Dane says the Pentex man on tour. Yes, that's great.
Yeah, that's me.
That sounds like that needs to be made into a poster.
Yeah, thinking about it, driving Land's End to John O'Groats in the UK is maybe 11 hours if you're a bit generous with the old go juice. So we are travelling longer than the longest possible route in the UK.
Okay, yeah.
One day.
Well, I am happy to be the tour guide for this adventure. That's
for our continental viewers. That's actual miles, not American miles.
We have to preface this now. I see how we are. Actual miles, not American miles.
Me and a friend did the math the other day to convert it to a usable American distance, and it's 1.6 billion Corvettes from here to New Orleans.
Okay. All right. I never wanted to know that, but I'm glad, I guess, now that I do. Okay. Have you done the math for the UK viewers to let them know how many kilometers it is?
We use miles in the UK.
I had to say it because it's a common theory. Everybody thinks that everybody over in England uses the kilometers. So
Just too far.
I have offended thee. I do apologize. So yes, we're going to be making the road trip. We're going to be leaving tomorrow morning early on and headed down south. And I think I know which route we're going to be taking, but I'll double check that in the morning based off of a variety of different things. There is a specific road that if it opens up, and supposedly it was possibly going to be opening up as of tomorrow. Now, it's been closed for several months, so I don't know if I want to test that, even if it says that it's open, because when a brand new road opens up, of course, we know how that works. And it's probably about the same over there in England as it is here in the States when that happens. It's a roll of the dice whether or not you're going to get where you want to get. So I may just stick to a predetermined plan and not try to chance that. Maybe grab that on the way home as a potentially shorter part of the route. But I'm looking forward to that. So also along the way, folks, if I can make it work, I would love to treat Rob to his first appearance and first vision of a Buc-ee's. If you've ever been to a Buc-ee's for your very first time, now multiply that times 10 as someone coming over from England.
So, funny thing, I'm familiar with Buc-ee's. Never been to one, but I'm familiar with them. They're, for the last, 5, 10 years, all of my stateside friends, people who've travelled, we have been trying to get hold of that giant 50 million litre cup.
Oh, yeah.
Can't find them anywhere.
Okay.
But we've been trying for years to get one because it's just ridiculous. It just, for me, from the European viewpoint, it sums up how we view America.
Yes.
The excess.
As excessive gluttonous slobs that we are. And I say this as a man of size because I take that to heart. The heart of a villain, folks. Oh, look at that. Did you see what I did there? You see what I did there?
Yeah, we shall try and find the Buc-ee's and God knows what else.
We how awesome would it be if we found that item at Buc-ee's for you? I don't know that would be a carry-onable item.
They make it anymore.
Hey, it would be awesome to find.
Hey, Buc-ee's is still good visiting.
It's yes. And the funny thing is, even when people are prepared to see it and they've seen pictures of it, just getting there to view it in person with your own eyes is a completely different thing because you just go, I had no idea. I thought I knew. I thought I knew from pictures. It's what's really crazy is the last time that I went to a Buc-ee's several months ago, drove in, stopped at one. They had one of those triangle signs that you see like sandwich board signs out in front of the entrance, and it was it listed jobs that they were currently hiring for, and every single job on there, and this is for a service station / convenience store, right? Every single one of the jobs that was on there was $20 an hour or more. And I mean to tell you, one of them is bathroom attendant. You're specialized in working the bathrooms, keeping the bathrooms clean. And if you've been to a Buc-ee's, you know that it is historically amazing bathroom cleanage. The cleanest bathrooms that you'll ever come across in a facility like that. They literally like walk in the door and sweep up after you. As soon as you walk out of the room, you will see somebody hanging out with a broom, mop, and dustpan and something not too far from the front door or front entrance to the bathroom. So they take their cleaning seriously at Buc-ee's, and to the point where they pay their people over $20 an hour to do that, which is awesome, I think, really.
Maybe we could put a few hours in ourselves.
Well, it may be a thing. Maybe they'll take some part-timers there. I can sweep up the bathroom maybe for a few minutes and help pay for the trip, right? Find a way, man. Find a way. All right. So, yeah, we're going to do some states. We're going to do some stops off on the road. We're kind of taking our time, but we still need to get there, right? We need to make sure that we get there at a decent hour tomorrow night because we're making the trip in one day. And I don't want to be completely dead tired. As right now for Rob, if you remember, folks, being in England that he is, it is about 2:00 in the morning now over there, if I'm not mistaken, or is it closer to 3?
4.
Oh, 4. Okay. See what I did there? I just completely baffled that. So it's 4:00 in the morning for him, and he hasn't slept. So it's by the time we get to bed tonight, it'll probably be closer to 6. Or at least 5 for sure. He'll be very tired, and morning will come very quickly, very quickly. So I don't want to. We're not going to do probably a full hour here on this show tonight, just because we started late, and because we also need to finish. At least I do. He's already packed, but I need to finish packing. Dane says it's 5 there. All right. That makes sense. Time has just flown and gotten away from me, so I've lost all track. See what happens when we do the show 2 hours later than we normally do. I'm so used to saying it's at a certain time when Rob's watching, and I forgot to do the math because math is hard. But hey, if anybody has any questions for Rob over the next couple minutes, if you want to throw them into the chat, if anybody has any questions for him, I would love to give him some sort of a stall-worthy question. That we can maybe stump him on or make him question his own reality. That would be a really good thing to do. Ed says, let me see if I can find my little commenter here. Let me go back over to my comments. It says, usually the first test area in a new state has a state flag and a state sign of some kind. Much safer for you all. See, Ed's looking out for us.
Is Ed suggesting we should be taking the flags as we go?
Oh, he means rest area, not test area. Come on.
Just roll in. My flag now.
Yeah. No, I don't think he is. I don't think he's suggesting that we steal the flags at these places. I think he's just talking about taking a photo of them.
Not stealing, liberating.
See what happens when the guy from England comes over to the States. He's trying to liberate. They need freedom back, he says. That's great. That's great. All right, man. So I'm not seeing anybody coming in with comments because people are probably already tired. It's 10 o'clock on a Thursday. People are got to go back to work tomorrow. Not me. I'll be driving. I get the weekend off. It's a long weekend for old BP and for Rob. So I feel like that needs to be. It's going to be like kind of Blues Brotherish for us this weekend with all the driving that we're going to be doing.
I'm doing back-to-back events this week.
Yeah. So tell everybody a little bit. That's a good idea. While we're waiting for somebody to come up with a fun question for him, talk for a second about you're not just here for World Meat. You're making a whole week and a half thing of this. Talk a little bit about what your plans are while you're here. Maybe somebody that's going to be in one of the other cities that knows you might want to come over and hang out with you.
So obviously, yeah, going to do the World Meet. Following that, I've got a few days up in Chicago. Going to visit family, catch up with old friends. Just do a bit of tourist stuff, which I don't tend to usually do. Nothing exciting. And then the following weekend, I'm flying to the tropical paradise that is southern New Jersey. Where I'm hosting a YouTuber get-together, meet-up, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, in southern New Jersey, a campground. Following that, I've got a couple of days rest, layover in New York City, the quietest place on earth, famed for its resting and peacefulness. So it's going to be a busy couple of weeks. It's been a busy day already. But yeah, it's going to be a good one. We've got a lot going on. If anybody is knocking around in Chicago this coming week or New York weekend after next, get in touch. I'm only there for the Monday and Tuesday lunchtime. But if anyone wants to grab pizza or a coffee or something, do give us a shout.
You know what's funny is I just found the 30 minutes into the show here. I just found the hidden switch that I was looking for on my new soundboard that helped me elevate Robb's volume. So now he actually sounds like he's in the room with me rather than outside the room talking to me through a closed window. Yeah. All right. So I guess we should.
Trapped in a box.
I guess we should just start the whole show over now with a good microphone.
Once more for those at the back.
Yeah. Say it louder. Say it louder. Josh is asking Robb, how? Oh, I've got to get rid of that comment. I've got to get rid of Ed's comment first because it's clogging up the portal.
Is it cheating if I read it on my phone?
Yes,
I won't cheat.
it is because I have to be. I'm the interviewer of
It's
you.
not an official question. Till it's
Not
on
an
the
official
screen.
question until it's on the screen. How did you get started in BV? Josh asks.
Oh, so let's go all the way back to 2016 when BV was still a stateside, very small. There were a few people in Europe, but it was small back then. It popped up on the old Instagram, and I got to talking to a bloke about it on Instagram. He then suggested maybe I'd be interested in joining and seeing how it went. But well, why not? At the time, names meant nothing, let alone pictures. I mean, Instagram was back in the Wild West days. And because this individual had decided to join BV, I found the local UK. At the time, there's only the one chapter in the UK, and say the rest is history. Although I should preface, this bloke is not just any bloke. You may know him by a couple of names, the most famous being Von Knox.
Oh. Okay, yeah.
A bit of a way in. But he recommended I got involved. I did, and it's been a wild ride. Very up, down, left, right.
Yeah.
All the way to where I am, sitting on the firm of London.
Yeah. No, you're not. You're sitting on my red couch in the studio.
Yes, which is now London.
Yes, he's claimed the plot of land right there on the couch as the territories of London. But you know what? In the words of Eddie Izzard, I'll ask the question: do you have a flag?
Just one or two.
Yes. So yes, Robb also came. If you're coming to the World Meet, Robb also came with a plethora of a variety of a cornucopia of flags.
I have London, Central England, Blackshire, Wales, all the original main site flags, all the original small ones, including the original Queen's one, which apparently people are asking for. The Minotaur flag, an MS flag, MS awareness flag. That's beautiful. Big butterfly flag. And I did promise to bring the veterans flag. Unfortunately, events that way outside of my control, we couldn't bring it. That just means I have to come back.
Yeah.
I'm being attacked by a tiny person.
Oh no.
And I've also got for the third shifters, we do have a flag, the night shift flag. So do come find me if you want the flag photo.
You must prove that you're a night shifter, though.
I want to see those bags under your eyes and the pallid skin.
Yes. You have to, in order to, the special night shifter's flag that he has, you must be a night shifter. You cannot be a day walker. You cannot be a day walker in order to have this flag, for sure. But that's very cool, man. Yeah, I mean, I think I still have an Essex flag.
We might want that back.
I still have one of those that came over to me when I was up in Canada the year before last. And I was told, do not give it back to them. Canada didn't want it, and they wanted it over. Then the Essex boys at least apparently wanted it over here somewhere. So, yeah. So that's a thing. I've got a question coming in from Mr. Ed Sanner. It is kind of on the lines of the question that I asked you earlier about your experiences within the differences that the meets go through. And for some reason, where's my mouse again? It is causing me issues. So you see, this is what happens when you have a huge, big screen. So I'll just read it rather than bringing it up on the screen. So Ed, I do apologize. You don't get your question on the screen.
Not
He
a little
says,
question.
since Rob regularly attends both Euro and US meets, what does he notice are the differences?
Scale, first and foremost. Physical scale. US meets are big. They are, to say they are American, and that's from the outside looking in perspective, you know, a good example is the difference in the way Americans do college football versus our version of college football. Ours is a bunch of blokes on a Sunday afternoon standing in the rain. You guys, that would be like version World Cup to us. That's kind of the representation of the US meets. It's big, in your face. UK meets a bit more sedated.
Yeah.
Still good. You know, the quality's irrelevant size wise. It's, you know, on that level it's all the same, but just the scale of it.
Do you notice, and this I don't want any of our stateside brothers to take offense to this, but do you notice that maybe sometimes some of the events that you've been to over here versus over there maybe feel a little less, they're a little more impersonal. They're a bit
pageanty.
Pageanty. Okay.
I mean, to be fair, if you start turning up in ball gowns, I'd come to a lot more meets because that'd be hysterical. But they just feel a bit more structured. There's a little less interpersonality between it. It's like, oh, it's 2 o'clock, beard comp. Tiny person attack! 3 o'clock, awards. 4 o'clock, we do a thing. Whereas, in Europe, it's a bit more. There's a lot more talking. The music is lower. The venues are styled around communication. You know, it's not one big hall. It's like when we took you to Monkey Jam, it was a multi-room venue, but each room was no bigger than a small lounge.
Mm-hmm.
So you had to talk to people. You had to bump into each other.
Yeah.
You know, you couldn't squirrel yourself off.
Yeah, and I have noticed that at just about every event you go to here in the States, even the ones that feel more intimate in size, you still have occasion where you look around the room, and even if people are having a good time, you still can see the random person or two that are just kind of sitting by themselves, and you wonder, are they really enjoying themselves or not? But you didn't get that at all up in Monkey Jam at that event, and you had people from all over at that one.
Yeah, I think we had a few internationals, not including yourself, at Monkey Jam last year. Yeah. But that's the other thing. We get a lot more international crowd in Europe because for a lot of people, 4 hours is the the upper limit of travel in Europe. So 4 hours in Europe is a lot of Europe.
Yeah.
4 hours from me is Turkey.
And that's crazy.
4 hours from here is still Indiana.
Yes. If you go
That's-
south, yes, it is.
And that's
Yeah.
the difference. So when we have a meet, we're lucky we can have super meets regularly because
Right.
of our location.
Yeah.
And that is the big difference I've noticed. You don't get me wrong, you guys have a lot of people coming in to meet some different chapters, but it's one country,
Right.
possibly two. If Canada comes down or someone from South America pops up,
Right.
but it's
Yeah.
never 4, 5, 6 countries sitting around.
Yeah, and that's kind of the concern that I've made too. This that the comparison is that whereas your events have 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 countries, ours have 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 states, but the circumference or the area of those people coming from may actually be larger for us than it is, because in such a small area, where we have states, you have those are countries for you guys. So I'm sure that tomorrow during the drive, there will be times when Rob looks to me and says, Are we still in Indiana? That'll be a question for sure before we get to southern Indiana. And I know absolutely when we're driving through like Alabama, that's going to be a question. Are we still in that state? Yeah.
I know that Texas is wider than England,
Yeah.
and not even at its widest point for Texas.
Yeah. I've only driven through an infinitesimal amount of Texas. And I'm still amazed when the guys talk about the distance that it is to get it from one point to another in that state.
I have friends who regularly truck across the states, and they measure things in Texas size.
Yeah.
I have driven a Texas today. That's a measurement of distance for
Yes.
because it's that vast.
Right. No. Yeah. I've heard Texas as a measurement of distance, but I've also heard it just as a standard measurement of hours. If you've driven, I've driven this distance, but you just say it, that if you're from Texas, you can equate that to, that's 8 hours.
Yeah.
So you just know.
Yeah. So that's one of the things. You guys, you might travel further, but still only have 4 or 5 chapters because your geographical layout is vast. If I could effectively organise a meet. We could sit right here and organise a UK meet and pull in 6 chapters.
6 countries.
Or have 6 countries even, with half the work required because it's so easy to travel.
Right. One of the things that I noticed when I was over there, and I know I talked about this when I came back, but the funniest thing I think about meeting the people over there is the differences in accents in one country that is really not that far apart in some cases from one point from England to another. The differences in the type of accents that you get. It's not like, folks, if you've never been there, it's not like the difference between Alabama and Indiana, because that's a 12 or 13 hour distance. But in a 2-hour distance there, I don't know that you can get drastic accent changes in the States in a 2-hour drive that you can over there.
You don't need to go 2 hours. You can do it in 30 minutes.
Why do you think that is? Because there's geographical areas that you can listen to somebody speak in England and you can go, they're from this, just on how they speak. Maybe it's because we're less educated on accents here, but I can tell you they're from the South, or they're New York, or they're New Jersey, or they're Philadelphia.
It comes back to agriculture.
Yeah.
Way before the car, the telephone, people didn't move. So enclave villages existed where the accents developed, and then the lines blurred. You got a third accent as they crossed over. And with a country like England, which is small but agricultural based, it was guaranteed. And then you further north you go, it's a harder accent reflecting the nature of lifestyle. And the further south you go, the softer it becomes.
Yeah, I wish I could remember who it was, but I was there at the meet and greet for only about, I would say, like maybe 15 minutes, and I was talking to a group of people, and then there was somebody that came over, and he started trying to talk to me in a group of people. And you probably know,
behave.
and you could probably tell who it is that I'm thinking of. But he started speaking, and I looked at him like he just told me to paint
Impolite.
paint a pretend bird in the air. I just looked at him and I said, "What?" And he said it again, and I shook my head and I said, "What?" And I was laughing, and so was everybody else that was standing around us because they said, "We can't understand him either."
Did he have a bright white mustache by any chance?
I think so.
Sounds like Chris.
It was so funny because it was like, okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one. It's not just the dumb American over here. That's.
The one thing I like is when I come over here, I have to make a conscious effort to slow my speech down. Because if you've ever spent, as you've seen, well, you're in the car with me and Danny and Lenny. Now, unless you are familiar with the English speech pattern, you can forget keeping up.
Yeah.
Because it is a rate of knots when we talk. Like me and Danny will be having 4 or 5 conversations at the same time at full pace.
Yeah. And it's not only that for us because it's the vocabulary too. It's how you say certain words or how you refer to certain things in a different context using different words than we would.
In fact, we have 6 or 7 words for absolutely everything.
Yes. Yeah. And then but it's because of that. I can kind of blur my hearing, like, so I'm not focused on something, and then it helps me concentrate on the overall. And that's how I was in the car ride with you guys, trying to listen to what you were saying, and I was able to pick out most of it. But it's when you throw in specific vocabulary words or phrases that are very English and they're not something we hear over here. That's when I'll go, yeah, I didn't understand that at all. Didn't pick up on that at it.
I mean, especially, like, obviously, everyone's familiar with the Cockney, rhyming slang. So everyone sees it on the TV, but I don't realize it. You get variations of it everywhere, and it's layered as well. So we'll be having a conversation, and I see it when we were over here in October. People are looking, it's like, what are you talking about? And we're like, that. That's not what you said. I think you'll find it. That's exactly what I said.
Yeah, for sure. What is Ed saying in the chat that's making us?
He's being a nuisance.
Ed, you're being a nuisance. So saith ROBB. Stop being a nuisance. He said the European events, do they have a lot of issues with language barriers?
Funnily enough, no.
Wow.
Which is weird because not everybody speaks multiple languages in Europe, contrary to what seems to be the accepted norm. Everyone speaks 2 or 3 languages. We don't.
That's what we get told over here, is that we're just dumb because we only speak English and you guys speak like 10.
99% of Europe speaks English to some extent. It's just the English who don't make the effort to study other languages, to be perfectly honest. We study it at school and proceed to forget it. But even if you have someone who only speaks Italian, there'll be someone who'll translate. Don't even need to ask. They'll just roll up and be like, "I'll help you out."
Yeah. All right. Josh asks, how many events have you been to? Like, if you could keep track.
This year? This week?
That says something, Josh. You can ask him that question and he can't remember he has to go back and actually physically count in his head.
I mean,
that says something to how far this and how the many events that this guy goes to in a year.
I honestly don't know. I wouldn't even want to try and hazard a guess.
Yeah.
From world meets, chapter meets, multi meets, charity meets, homeless runs. I have no idea.
Yeah.
It's up there though.
It's up there though. Yeah, for sure. I got to try and calm my 9-year-old down for just a second. She's echoing in the background. Stand by, folks.
Skylar, quiet.
Okay. Kids are quiet now, hopefully. We're almost done, folks. Sorry. Yes. Dane says, just wait till Rob starts with, are we there yet? That's going to get old about hour 2.
Yeah.
By
the end of the drive.
Yeah. I'm going to probably just have to tell him to go to sleep.
I don't think we can make it onto the highway before that point.
No. No, we will, because the highway's 30 seconds from the house. So we'll make it to the highway at least before that happens. I'm not looking forward to discovering new construction zones, though, as is always this time of year. So,
Yeah, there's a time and a place. It's always not where you want it.
right. All right, guys. You know what? We've been here almost an hour, and it's 5 o'clock Rob's time. It's past 5 o'clock. Before too long, we need to get him to sleep. But if anybody else has anything real quick to say hi to Rob with, I'll do my best to get it. He's also watching in the chat live as well, so we can get some communication to him. Once again, if you are going to World Meet in New Orleans this weekend, find Rob to get one of a bunch of different goodies, but more especially that very cool patch that he had.
So I can tell them what they are.
Huh?
They can hear me. I can tell them what the goodies are.
Oh, okay. He's going to go back and tell you what the goodies are. Go for it.
So we have the World Meat patch. That's a limited one of 50. You can try and butter me up with items. People have tried. No one's managed it yet. I'm very picky about stuff. We have some Villain Fest wristbands, which you would have to have tended to get hold of. Apparently there's a strong wristband collecting movement in BV, so if you want some of those, come and find me. We have some ultra rare Big Smoke on Tour pin badges. We have the graffiti style one, which most people are familiar with, and we have a metallic one.
Oh, yeah.
Even rarer.
All right. Well, I'm definitely going to try and find my hands on one of those for sure before you leave town.
And then, as a personal gift from me and Bulldog, we have some autism awareness wristbands. They're a silver charm puzzle piece with a rainbow, like string band. I don't know, best way to just like friendship band.
Okay.
So got about 20 or 30 of those. I can't remember. We've got some croc charms for those croc lovers out there.
That may be the funniest thing.
They're autism related as well. I'm sure I've got something else, but I can't remember. And then obviously we've got, from Bigfoot, we've got full size tins and bottles. We were going to do the trial size little postage stamp size ones. And then we just decided, no, we're going to go full out. We've got 8 completely full tins of fluff and balm, and either 8 or 9 bottles of oil for everyone to come and try.
Yeah.
I don't intend on taking them home.
So, folks, if you need it, if you want to try out some Bigfoot beard products, now is the time to try it this week if you're down in New Orleans. Or if you're between here and New Orleans and you're on the way when we head down south tomorrow. If you want to meet us at a rest stop or something like that, you can get maybe you can get a sample of some Bigfoot beard products to fix you up for the day, for sure. But Rob, thanks so much, man, for hanging out with me in the studio tonight. Do you have anything else you want to say before we sign off?
I'd just like to remind everyone to look out for each other. Let's keep spreading the goodwill towards each other. And because I know he's still in the chat, if I can remind you all to be one thing: be more Ed.
Be more Ed. That's what he's saying, folks. Be more Ed. For sure.
Those t-shirts are in print, by the way.
Trademark pending. Yeah, for sure. Be more Ed, he says. Okay. Well, guys, man, that's going to do it. That's going to wrap up episode 224 of this here program. I want to challenge you guys, as I do every week, to be the villain that the world needs you to be, because the heart of a villain never stops beating. Most important words I say every week as Ed gives us the middle finger. Remember them well. It's okay not to be okay. If you are hurting, please find a brother to talk to. Remember, it's okay not to be okay. But that's not it. That's not what you want to end with. You make sure you find a way to talk to a brother. Guys, hey, it's been an early day, a late day, but early week. Have a great rest of this week, a great weekend ahead. Be safe traveling if you're going to World Meet or anywhere else. I'll see you back here again next week for episode, 225. All right. Till then, take care. Stay safe.
From the start to the finish.